melting all my aluminium down so I can get some little nuggets out. So I bought this A-section belt to match up with this, and I don't know if you can tell from it being wound up like that, it's way too long, and I've got to cut it to get it round, so I've done that. They are about the same length now, in fact exactly the same length, so I've cut it like that. It wasn't the straightest of cuts, as we can see there, and I glued it. You can see it remnants of glue, or cemented it, or vulcanized it. Stuck it together and forgot I hadn't wrapped it around the head. So I unstuck it. I was going to do it inch by inch, inch by inch. And a couple of the drilled holes didn't drill in the centre. So those two there next to each other and the one further down, probably going to sew them. I think the rest should be right with the rivet in them. Just testing the rivet in there now. I'm thinking maybe 1, 2 rivets and then another rivet down the end here. I'm going to drill another hole about where my finger is and sew this to that so the end doesn't flap, and the same up the end here. So I'm going to put a rivet in that. I think I'm going to sew that, or I might just drill a bit further up. That isn't really central, very central, is it, eh? Oh, good grief. See, this is going to be a pain in the arse. I think I'm going to re-drill this one a bit further down. Yeah, that's not central, is it, eh? It's just not central. And sew it at the ends here, on these end ones. Yeah, it's going to happen, isn't it, eh? A bit of sewing action. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Not very happy about it, but that's what I'm doing. Right, getting a bit sick and tired now of this belt situation. I tried doing a rubber belt split and glued, and well, and a bit of cotton around it to hold the flapping end down. One is still on, it's not quite straight, as you can see. It's not perfect, as you can see, but it is on, and it makes a racket and goes kudung, 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 kudung. Shall we see? Let's see what it looks like. It's quite entertaining. So we'll turn on the inverter, set an angle, because I've had to adjust the angle of the rear bracket. The G-clamp just holds it in position at the moment. I think I've gone over that. Press run. It's just when the lumpy bit goes over the pulleys, which obviously makes a... Unfortunately, that's just not acceptable, is it? Although I might be able to get these parts out as it's running like this before I decide what I'm going to do next. I haven't decided what I'm going to do next. So I just unplugged the inverter. It stays on for a minute, I think, 40 seconds or something. Oh, good grief. Oh, I remember what I was doing next. So I've ordered more washers, and these were triple links. Now I've cut them down to double links. What that will do is it'll mean they're overlapped by 2 instead of 3, and that will reduce the amount of thickness. Obviously reduce the strength by 1/3 and reduce the thickness by enough, hopefully, to fit those link belts in. So I'm doing that. I ain't got many washers left. I haven't got many rivets left. I think I'm going to order some rivets as well. I just can't be bothered to drive down and get them. I haven't got the heart in me to drive down and get some. Me oil is accumulating here. I haven't had any more oil on the floor yet, and I'm not getting it drip underneath the thingy. head start. I'm getting a little bit of oil down the back here. Start to dribble out. Blah 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 blah. So that hasn't worked. I'm going to order some fuel pipe as well. I think I'm going to try fuel pipe. Have 2 runs of fuel pipe and do some kind of link. If it's 30mm OD and 6mm ID, I'll try and get some 7mm ID braid reinforced rubber, not pipe, you know, just like, not tube, you know, like rod, and then I'll glue that in the inside and sew it and see if that's any good. I think that should be better. Getting a bit knocked now at this lot. I have got somebody else, they've sent my old belt away. They're trying to match up the old belt. The old belt is a triple link belt like this, but it's a lot more sleek. A lot more sleek. Like really sleek in comparison to these. I have seen T-nut belt, that doesn't look sleek enough. I don't know which one I'm going to use. What it's going to end up using. But I did get the drive plate angles cut out with the drive plates, and now I can get the drive plate up to a higher angle, because when I made these belts I must have made them about ½ an inch shorter, and I couldn't lift the motor up enough to get the belts on. Awesome. So I had to grind. I've ground so much without any protective clothing on that all the sparks went into my arm and gave me mass amounts of scalding all down the wrists. Awesome. Yeah, don't ever do angle grinding with a cutting disc without gloves on, because you will scald your hands. So I had a few failures. I don't know how much video I've got, so this was a failure. It frayed a little bit. I think I've cut it there to get it off. It started flapping. Plus it was making an awful noise. You might have heard that. My laptop, you might have heard the awful noise in part of this video, but my laptop basically had an update come down from Dell. It said, you have 2 Dell updates, would you like to do them? Yeah, okay. Then after they'd downloaded, it said, in blah 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 blah, it said, updates have been installed, your system needs to be restarted. So, okay, fair enough, restart the system. Do what you need to do. Oh, I didn't cut the washer off of those. I did. Anyway, so I did the restart, and when it restarted it said, your hard drive needs repairing. So I thought, okay, well, let it do that. And of course, while it was doing that, it started making some weird noises. I thought, great, this doesn't sound great. I've heard this noise before, back in the 90s, when you used to get the blue screen Windows 98 thing. Well, I thought the days of that were gone. This was a black screen saying updating, and from 1 to 2% it took around about 5 hours, well, you know, 20 minutes, and then from 2 to 5% it went up rather rapidly, and then from 5% to 6% it took about 45 minutes, and this went on for 3.5 hours as it was repairing drive D, it said. And eventually the system started, and it took, I don't know how many minutes until I could do something, until the system was responding. At that point I could still see D drive, as it calls it. So I started doing stuff, then I noticed the virus scanner wasn't working. So I tried to start the virus scanner, and the hard drive started making a weird noise. So nothing was responding. So I resorted to the old hold down the power button to turn it off. And I restarted it and it started up and everything was hunky-dory. Not hunky-dory, the virus scanner still didn't work, but it started up pretty rapidly. And I tried to start the virus scanner again, it did the same thing again. So I waited this time for about 45 minutes. And then the computer started responding again. It stopped making this noise that it was making, trying to start the program. And an error message came up. So I looked at the error message online. And it told me to go to the Trend website. So I went to the website for the virus scanner. And it gave me some options for what to do, which I'd already done. So obviously that was a waste of time. So I tried to do the repair option and that didn't work. That wasn't working. It couldn't do it. So I downloaded the full install. Tried to install it. It wouldn't do that. And this was all getting rather frustrating. So I gave it a miss that day. Started it up the next day. Thought I'd better do some data transfer and get all the stuff off of D before it completely knackers with all my videos and everything on it. And of course at this point now D drive just doesn't recognise anything, so I've lost videos which I've been saving up. So I've got some from a steady rest because my steady rest isn't finished yet, so I thought I'll save some of those until required. And well, they're not there, but I haven't, I haven't gone ahead of myself. The steady rest still hasn't been brazed. I'm waiting to braze that until I braze the Bridgeport at the same time, because the Bridgeport's got a broken drive unit. The casting is broken on it when it fell over. So I thought I'll do the two brazing bits at the same time, because I'm heating one thing up and brazing it, and I've got another thing to braze. It'd be a bit stupid doing them at different points in time. But I'm getting quite desperate for the steady rest to be finished now, so it might happen first. Doesn't really matter. So that could be a video coming up shortly, but my wrist is hurting now, and I'm just doing this until my wrist starts hurting badly. To be fair, I've got most of these done, so I'm just chopping the back end of the washer off. Trying to chop the front off, and what's generally happening is the washer where I've cut it off at the back there will pop off. I'll save the washer. I'm not saving that washer. I've ordered 100 new washers. So I'm cutting the rivet off at the back. Cut all the rivets off at the back there, and the washer stays on. And I'll try and cut them off at the top. Get in there, try and cut it off at the top. Get the side cutting pliers, and then pull it up a little bit. And if the rivet comes out without me having to cut it off, then the washer comes off and I've saved it. So I'll put that back in there. What's got? I need 40, I think. 40, 48. So I have now got enough washers saved that I didn't have to order any more washers, but I ordered more washers anyway because I'm not faffing about, especially with a hurting wrist. But anyway, really there now. I'm cutting them down to 2 lengths. I've got loads of them so far. So I've got loads of them cut down to 2. You can see that, there you go, loads of them cut down. Then I'm going to link them together in 2s with 1, let's call it. So I cut them down. They look like this. That's why I cut them down. I separate them out and they look like this. And then when I cut them down they become 2s, and then I'm going to link them together like that. Also, and then there should be a 1/3 less width on them. So these are 16mm rivets which I'm taking out, and I ordered 10mm rivets to put back in again, so it should be that much better. I think the 10mm might have been 12mm rivets. Pull that out, put that down there. Yeah, being tidy is not anything that I'm thinking about right now. The only thing I'm thinking about is, oh, another washer came off all by itself. That was quite handy of it. Well, yeah, tidiness is not on my forethought at the moment. Trying not to damage my wrist anymore is on my forethought. Just taking my time. Once I tweak it, that will do for the evening. Amazingly, I've got all the rivets out and haven't tweaked my wrist. So that's the last 3 in that belt. Now, I'll chop them down. So I want to be staying away from the second hole by more than that cut away from it, or yeah, that amount or more. I want to chop it at a slight angle, so I'm just doing that. Going round. That one's cut the chamfer there, and the chamfer goes backwards. So I'm trying to put the chamfer on backwards. So when I'm putting the tool on, you can see. So instead of putting the tool on straight like that, I'm putting the tool on at an angle, biting in, and yeah, it's cutting a slight angle on the side of it. That's 2 of those done. Last one. So again, not putting it on straight, I'm putting it at an angle, letting it bite in at the angle. Hopefully it's got a chamfer backwards. Yeah, it's got a chamfer backwards. I don't know if these are chamfer backwards, but all the other ones, when they've been cut, they've all got a chamfer on them. So I'll just try and keep a chamfer. And tonight, the way my wrist is feeling, I might be able to get this belt done. I've got another one to do as well. I'm going to put both on at the same time. The way I'm seeing it is, it ran on one belt when I had it for months and months and months. Took some abuse, it was slipping. And then only when it got oil on it did the old deteriorated belt then give up with the ghost. So hopefully, this being leather or synthetic leather, the same as the original leather belt that was on it, having 2 belts on will be twice as much grip as one belt, so I'd have to have half the tension on, and half the tension on, a little bit more than half the tension on. Hopefully these belts will hold together, but time will tell. Time will tell. One rubber belt's still on. The lathe does actually still work now, but it's only got about 10 minutes left in it, and I've got to drill a 14mm hole out to a 16mm hole, and then tap it with these awesome new tap wrenches I've got. Awesome. So I'm doing this again and again and again and again. If this doesn't work, and my neighbour who's sent off the other belts for matching up, if that doesn't come back with anything fruitful, then I will just have to order the right size rubber belts for the setup I have and dismantle the head. I really don't want to do that, but if I'm doing that, then I might take all the gearbox and everything off and try and do a headstock to Wade's parallel alignment, because I think it's slightly out. Pretty certain it is. It might be something else. Can't see it being anything else. You have to be pretty serious wear everywhere else to get 9/1000 taper over 3 inches. When I cut on the compound, I can get, you know, depending on how you set it up, I can get less than 1 thou of tape over the 5 inches of travel it has. And that's with me setting up the parallelism in my haphazard, rushed manner. I'm sure a professional would be able to set up the compound way better. Plus the compound is like worn out, so only getting 1,000 taper is really good. Everything that I've done accurate so far, i.e. the travel stop lock things that I made, all of those things that I made which have turned out accurate have been on the compound. Someone's just started up a motorcycle of some description, or maybe it's something else. So another packet of rivets, and these are shorter. Oh, they're coming out. They're coming out the packet. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, they're cutting down a tree. It's a chainsaw. That should be interesting for the next few hours. I don't know how long that's going to take them, so I don't know where to put a washer on the rivet. And then stick the rivet through. It ain't having a washer on the rivet first. I think the rivet's going to be good enough to go through the bottom. Just push the rivet straight through the bottom. Like that. Yep, okay. Straight through the bottom of that one, and then that one on top, like that. Then a washer on that, like this. And then we'll rivet them. What a noise. Still, there you go. Whatever tree it is, it's suffering some cuttage now. And there we go. You know what these rivets are, don't you? Too short. Oh, what's happening here? That ain't going to stay on, is it? So that's no good. The washer's come off. That's useless. So they're not going to work at all. No, that ain't going to work. Great. So that ain't going to work at all. Nice try, mud pie, but no. Yeah, it sounds like some serious chainsaw action is going to be going on for a while. So then I'm going to discard that one for a short period of time. I'll try it again. So, through with the rivet. Through with the rivet. It ain't going to happen, is it, eh? These rivets are crap. Okay, so that rivet ain't going to work. We got more hope of that working than seeing pigs fly. So, they're too short. Let's try the 16mm rivets. If not, we'll order some more rivets. Oh, this is going to be protracted, this is, isn't it? This is going to take frickin' hours to do. Frickin' hours. So if I go through from the back with this 16mm one, the washer is going to be way too long. The thing is going to be way too long. Oh, good grief, I'm sucking all over fan belts everywhere. I'm getting a bit titted off with this. I'm getting well titted off with this, man. This is bad news, this thing is. Trying to get a belt into this. It doesn't fit. Great. So washer on top, pulling it down from the top. The washer at the bottom will just about go in, but if I put it in there and it sinks in too far, it's going to be touching the side of the washer. And still I've got too much sticking out. It's not going to turn out good, is it? I put it in anyway. So I can't put it in that way, it can't go in that way, no chance. I don't really want the washer on the inside because it makes it way too big. Now, if I put it in through from the other side, which we can do, not a problem, without a washer, we'll say that rivet's big enough to take that load. Yeah. Drop the washer because, yeah, I can't want to pick that up. I've recovered enough washers for it, especially when I'm using one. So we'll put, I could put one big washer at the back, or some big washers, but no. So these will go down to this size. We'll try this. If not, we'll have to order some more pot rivets. So it's got it, but the rivet is quite sticky outy a lot. But I'm not too fussed about that if I can cut off the top. So I think that's a winner. Yeah, I think that's a winner. It's crimped it up nice and tight. It's nice and compact. So 16mm rivets. That will do. It's a bit more extra work. Let's see what kind of gap we've got now. So that's down to 11mm. 11.9, sorry, 11.9mm. Can we see that there? 11.9, and the original belt that I got, which didn't go in, I think it's for 16mm or something. The original 16.3. I'm pretty sure I got that down to about 16.2 now. 16.1, 15.9s. Yeah, 16, I got it down to 15 point something, didn't I, when I put the rivets in. Yeah. So 16.2 average down to now 11.3, and the rubber belt is 8.6, so it's a lot thicker than the rubber belt still. So we're looking at 8.8, let's say that's 9mm, probably some kind of imperial size. So we're going up from 9mm, which fits in piece of piss, up to 12mm, and I'm pretty certain that'll fit in piece of piss. And we've still got the V. You can see the taper on that. So it tapers up from at the bottom, 9.5, at the top, 12.9. I think it's supposed to go up to 13mm where it seats, so it's still within the range of where it's supposed to be sitting. It'll probably sit inside the pulley now a little bit, but yeah, let's put all those together and see how close the wide bits are. Yeah, okay. Stick all those together. I mean, these 16mm rivets are useless unless... Oh yeah, I've got them here. They're here. Okay, cool. Let's stick a couple together, because they're just sitting here waiting to be rammed together. So we'll stick that one together. Looks pretty good. We'll do that. Pretty certain that's set up ready. If it isn't, well, another thing that's gone wrong with this fan belt. There we go, that's pulled out. So that one. Let's get a washer before we forget. Not rush it. We rushed it. So yeah, there might be a bit of a problem with this setup, but can't save the rivets anymore, so don't go in from there and up through there. Yeah, looking pretty good. I've got a section of the next trial fan belt. Once I find the right way of doing this, the other 96 owners of a Holbrook C8 on the whole planet will know exactly how to do it. Because there was only 96 of these Holbrook lathes made, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I am one of 96. I do like to be a little bit unusual. You know, do like to make things hard for myself. Oh dear. So doing this riveting is making my wrist say, hold on a second, I think you've had enough tonight. Just giving me a few inklings that you've probably done enough now. I'll do one more, I just want a bit more length. Who don't want a bit more length, eh? Come on, you've only got 4 rivets left, whatever it is. 4 more rivets left. And then I'm out of rivets for these 16mm ones. That's what I'm doing 4 more. And then that will be it for the night. I'll get some dinner. Sit back and relax. And see if one of my favourite YouTube video people has put a video on. Making fortresses in Panama. Now everybody knows who that is. There ain't anybody on the planet that doesn't know who's making a fortress in Panama. The Island Fortress. The anti-zombie Island Fortress. Look, I'm doing these all the same way, I am. But this fan belt's getting a bit fatigued now from being crushed so many times. Looks like it's falling to pieces there, but hopefully it'll be alright, I don't know. Tell you what, I'll call it quits for the night, and then when I get some more rivets, 16mm rivets, yep. We'll wait for some 16mm rivets again. Wash up. Well, you know, I can see something's happened tonight now. Feeling a bit happier. Tell you what, I might go and get some rivets tomorrow instead of ordering them. I might just nip down to Machine Mart, which is like Harbour Freight. Machine Mart sell Clark stuff, and any Clark machinery that you see, you could basically download the manual for the Clark machinery and be able to repair any Harbour Freight machinery because it's exactly the same. So, you know, I think there's like a machine maker out there that doesn't put names on things for themselves, they just put it on for other people. Most of those companies get it out, get it from there. Oh, I must be making loads of sense because I've been up for hours, but there we go. There's a bit of weak link belt. Which one's the one I've trimmed? So there, that's the one I've trimmed. That one there, the rest I haven't. Let's trim them all up so we know what we're looking at, so we're not getting confused. So I'm aiming inside there, if I can see inside there. There's the steel bit, so I'm just aiming to cut above it. Cut it one way, then the other, then the other. I'm trying to make it so it keeps that steel bit inside a lot better. A bit more support. And it's a bit rough on the outside, but who cares? Now this one, can't really trim that one because the steel bit's right at the top. I'm going to take the steel out on this one, isn't I? Yeah. This one I'll have to, I did want to leave the steel in, but this one I can't. So I'll just trim that one the same kind of length. This one I'm going to be able to leave the steel in. So it's very organic, this is. Each individual one has to be fettled by hand. Again, this one, the steel's coming out with this last one here. Don't put it too low. Just keep it within reason. There we go. 3 more. So this one, steel can stay in. Like that. This one, the steel can stay in. Like that. And this one, the steel can stay in. There we go. Excellent. We've got a bit of belt coming along, which may work.